what's the right amount of time that you allow yourself to be upset about like when something is cleaned, when can you use it again? Like when are you allowed to actually use it?
This is a good conversation because it's
just a question. This isn't a conversation.
I'm a house divided. My answer is immediately. My answer is you clean things
so that you can use it right
so
away.
they get dirty again. Like I have made my peace. I have no issues with the bed making issue. Like, why do you make the bed? You're just going to do it again. I know that's the process. So you clean the car and then you throw all the baseball stuff right in the car. Like that's what you got to do. Rach has a much harder time with it. So,
right.
Like she's like, can it just be clean for a little before it gets dirty again?
Right.
I'm like, it can.
Well, it's not even like before it gets dirty again. It's like before you use it again. Like I like it happens all the time where I'd like shave my beard or something in the sink, and my wife would be like, "Oh my gosh, just clean that."
Yeah, 100%.
And I'm like, "Yeah, okay. Well, I have to use it. Like
it's gonna get used,
and I'm gonna. It's not like I'm gonna leave my hair in the sink until you come back or I come and do it again later. Like I also clean up after myself. This is a shocker.
Yeah,
but it's got to be okay.
You got it.
I mean, I understand, like, you know, if you're mad about, like, oh my gosh, somebody, like, I just spilled, I don't know, some rice on the floor. You're like, I just mopped that. Like, okay. I mean, you're still going to clean it up, though, right?
Right. It's okay to say because it's a felt, like, yeah, man, that was quick. I'm also this way with new stuff. Like, it's new, it's shiny, it's great.
Oh, right.
And there's certain things like white shoes and stuff you do have to, like, there's a degree of maintenance. You really do need that thing to say. But then there's other parts that I'm like when, I don't know, you just have a new thing, you don't want any, you just are like kind of like wearing the white gloves around it because you don't want anything. It's
that's different. I think that's different. The clean thing is like, I can just clean it again. But also, like, I have to use it. So, like, you clean the toilet and you're like, well, do we just look at it for a couple of hours? Like, is it hours?
A couple hours.
That it's time we have to let everything sit safe for hours.
Okay,
perfectly.
Let me give you an actual answer to this question, which I never do on this podcast.
Finally.
You deserve, if you cleaned or whatever, enough time to sit and look at the thing you cleaned.
Right, in the bathroom?
Wherever it is, because this is me with the lawn too.
But how long are you looking at it?
I'm talking you get 10 minutes is my honest answer. You deserve to be able to look at that thing and go like, look, I cleaned that. That looks real clean right now. And then from then on out, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. It's free game. Yeah, it's fair use.
But that's what I'm getting at is my wife's length of time here is like, which it's arbitrary because she's like,
right.
I just cleaned the bathroom.
Right.
Okay, well, I do have to go in there. If that's okay.
Yeah. My suggestion here is you
think there's
should not be interrupted.
I think there's like a 2-hour timer for bathroom stuff, at the very least.
I think that's fine. I think I'd love to hear anyone else's thoughts on how long should something stay clean and unused if you've just spent a significant amount of time cleaning it.
I also want to be clear that 2-hour timer is her timer, not mine.
What's your timer?
Use it. Like you have to use it. It's your house.
Do you like the satisfaction of like looking at the clean thing and going like, I cleaned that.
But you clean it so that it's safe and healthy. It's a good environment. It's a comfortable environment.
We don't clean it to look at.
And like you vacuum the floors and then you have to walk on them.
Someone spills.
Like when you have like a carpet and you see the lines in the carpet after you vacuum, you're like, that looks great. You're gonna walk on it though.
At some point, but you should look at the lines in the carpet. And
admire the lines.
Look at that. Look at that. I did a thing. That's my favorite thing about cleaning is how immediate the satisfaction is. Like wipe counter. Counter's clean. Look at that.
You did something.
Everything else in life takes so long. Welcome to the podcast, everybody. That's Tim. I'm Anthony. This is the Bible's Funny Podcast.
I didn't know they were here.
Yeah, they've been here the whole time. I want them to weigh in. I think that's I'm really interested in that topic. How long, viewer, comment, how long does it need to stay clean before it is? Or is it, because I bet you there's people, it's just like, I want it to be clean forever, and I gotta like turn away. I'm never green lighting the use after I clean it. I'm a little bit that way with laundry. Once I've done all the laundry, I'm like, stop wearing clothes, people. We're done for days. Comment, let us know. Welcome to the podcast. This is Cheat Day Devos segment. We're going to be talking about the Bible today. The two things we're talking about as a community right now, we'll cover them briefly. Bible's Funny Card Game Volume 2.
Mm-hmm. Second one.
It is out. It's available for pre-order. You pre-order it, you get some bonus fun content, house rules, action cards. Check it out. Links in the show notes. It's a lot of fun.
I can't wait till we turn the volume to 11.
Second thing, Florida Tourida. Bible is Funny. What? Ninjas are Butterflies coming together to go on tour. We have 2 dates, October 9th, October 16th in Tampa and Orlando, respectively. Which one?
Respectively. But you can also be respectful of the cities.
Respectfully, I respectively have reserved those dates for these shows. It's going to be super fun. Ninjas are Butterflies. Bible is Funny. We're going to do a live show. We're going to do like podcast stuff in the room together in real life.
We're all just going to listen to another podcast together. That's the podcast stuff.
It's like a podcast inception. Like then we get those people in and we listen to another podcast together. All right, that's our exciting news. And now we're going to read the Bible together. Before we do, I always say, this is not, this is a podcast for, could you guys hear that?
I heard that.
My stomach was very upset. Wow. This is a podcast for merriment. Somebody came on the YouTube recently in one of our videos and said, what is this podcast for? And that was my answer.
Great question.
It's a good question. It's for merriment, primarily, is what I said to this
What
user.
am I here for?
We're just here for giggles.
Who's asking existential questions of our podcast?
We're here for fun. This is not, if you stumbled on this through a search for like deep theological unpacking of scripture, your Google's broken. And that's not what we do here. We're just going to read through the Bible together. We're going to enjoy this time. We love you. We love the Bible. We love hanging out. And that's what we're going to do. So we're going to read through it. We're going to point out the stuff that we think is funny.
Yeah, we promise you're not going to learn anything.
We have fumbled at this in the past. And we have accidentally taught things. But it is an accident every time. And we are committed to that stance. Exodus 19 and 20 is what we're covering today. If you missed any of the previous chapters, you can catch up in previous episodes. Exodus chapter 19, starting in verse 1. On the first day of the third month after the Israelites left Egypt, on that very day, they came to the desert of Sinai. After they set out from Rephidim, they entered the desert of Sinai, and Israel camped there in the desert in front of the mountain. How do you know if you're in the front of the mountain?
Good question.
Do you know what I mean? This kind of depends on which way you're looking. Then Moses went up to God, and the Lord called to him from the mountain and said, "This is what you are to say to the descendants of Jacob, and what you are to tell the people of Israel. You yourselves have seen what I did to Egypt, and how I carried you on eagle's wings and brought you to myself." This is actually God making a Lord of the Rings reference here.
Preemptive, yeah.
Because they carried them.
On the wings of a moth.
On the wings of a moth. Now if you obey me fully and keep my covenant, then out of all nations you will be my treasured possession. Although the whole earth is mine, you will be for me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words you are to speak to the Israelites.
I like that. Like God's going, tell them I said that.
Tell them I said that.
Hey, tell them when I said that.
Yeah.
Just see what they say.
And the wings.
Do you think they like me?
Do the eagles and the wings. Remember that part.
Say that. Say it back to me.
See.
And then is that how you're going to say it to them? Because I want you to say it a little different.
So Moses, he's up to God.
Put some effort, just a little bit more like
hey,
a pizzazz.
I got it.
He's coming from God, you know.
No, I know. I'm going to tell him. So he gets his staff and he hikes down. So Moses went back and summoned the elders of the people and set before them all the words the Lord had commanded him to speak. The people all responded together, "We will do everything the Lord has said." So Moses brought their answer back to the Lord.
I want to take the Bible literally. For those of you who do that,
literally,
they said that all in unison.
They all responded together.
And they all, they looked in the room.
Yeah.
And they all kind of looked around. And then Moses came down and said, and they all responded together, "We will do everything the
God, Lord has said. Unless they did improv. then they would have said that way cleaner.
Right.
Like we would normally if we were trying. So Moses brought their answer back to the Lord. So again, Moses talks to God, hikes down, talks to people, turns around, hiking back up.
He does a lot of hiking.
That's why he has a staff. He's got a walking stick. The Lord said to Moses, I'm going to come to you in a dense cloud so that the people will hear me speaking with you and will always put their trust in you. Then Moses told the Lord what the people had said. So Moses is caught in a game of telephone here right now. He's going up, he's talking to God, he's going down, he's going to the people, he's going, okay, so they said, we'll do everything. They said they'll do everything you said. Okay, I got it. So he has to walk back up and remember this the whole time and then say to God. And so then God says, I'm going to come to you in a dense cloud so that the people will hear me speaking with you and will always put their trust in you. So that Moses is probably like, oh, thank goodness, if they can hear you speaking, I don't have to keep doing this back and forth. You would just go cut out the middleman. And the Lord said to Moses, verse 10, go to the people and consecrate them today and tomorrow. Have them wash their clothes and be ready by the third day, because on that day the Lord will come down on Mount Sinai in the sight of all the people. Verse 10 feels like it's maybe aimed at somebody.
Oh, yeah.
Have them consecrate, like really think about what they're going to do, because this is a big thing that's about to happen. And have them wash their clothes.
All of them.
Make sure the clothes are washed.
Jimmy. Everybody, though.
All people wash your clothes.
But Jimmy, you are...
I'm going to randomly pick Jimmy here because, like, if you don't wash your clothes, they smell, and I don't want it. So wash your clothes, every Jimmy, everybody.
Yeah, I wondered if that was like, kind of Moses's ploy again. He's the one who's got to smell them.
He's smelling them more.
God's like, I'm in a cloud. I don't know. I just smell the dirt around me and the dust. And Moses is like, but I got to smell Jimmy. Like, can I just tell them that you said to wash their clothes? Yeah, I'm
Part of consecration
just going to do that.
Is wash your clothes and brush your teeth. For heaven's sake.
In the morning and
heaven's
at night.
sake. Literally for heaven's sake. And be ready by the third day, because on that day the Lord will come down in the sight of all the people. Put limits for the people around the mountain and tell them, be careful that you do not approach the mountain or touch the foot of it. Whoever touches the mountain is to be put to death. They are to be stoned or shot with arrows. Not a hand is to be laid on them. That verse really threw me. I actually had to read it a couple times because the front half and the back half don't seem to go together.
Don't touch them.
You're like, they're to be stoned or shot with arrows. You're like, oh, okay, so you gotta kill them. Not a hand is to be laid on them. And you're like, we don't put a hand on someone, you don't hurt them. But literally
don't touch them.
Don't touch them.
No.
is the command here. No person or animal shall be permitted to live. Only when the ram's horn sounds a long blast may they approach the mountain.
So these are the consequences of if you just touch the foot of the mountain.
Right.
And it seems rather, I don't know, steep for the consequences, especially given something that's
steep mountain.
Right.
I see what you did.
Especially giving something that's like kind of vague. And I get the direction is clear, but where's the mountain start? Like where when does the mountain actually, like if you ever walked up to a mountain, it's not usual that there's like a stopping point. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know what Mount Sinai actually looks like. Maybe there is a clear starting point and stopping point.
Just completely
but usually
sheer rock face.
It goes from like flat to kind of gradually up and then more steep. But somewhere in there, you're on the mountain, you're on the foot of the mountain, and God's saying, no, I'm going to destroy your body with swords and knives and stones. We just don't touch don't touch the mountain area. Like how close do you know when you can get?
No, I think it's a great question. And in verse 12 is what he says to Moses, put limits for the people around the mountain. The mountain. Very Canadian to me. Put limits around the mountain. So my thought there is like Moses like having that same thought and going like, well, this looks like where the mountain comes. Well, I guess I should probably go further. So he ends up with like a chalk outline, like a half mile from the mountain.
That's what I would do.
Where he's like, I just don't go past here. And then I feel like we're good. As long as you stay behind this line.
Like, I want Moses going back to God, going like, "Can you just one more question? Just can you kind of make a line?
Where would
if you were me, where would you put the caution tape?
Would you put
the little velvet rope? If you were in my shoes,
Right.
I know you're busy. I know you're
Right.
in the cloud.
This
stuff.
is also like, again, I'm thinking like a natural place like a mountain. This is God living outside of time, aware that like in the future, these humans are going to struggle with the rule, don't take a selfie with a grizzly bear. Hey guys, if there's a grizzly bear, don't take a picture with it. And God, aware of that being something that people aren't going to do. So he has to cut back here and go like, Moses, can you try? By the way, this is never going to work. The thousands of human history and what I'm telling you, it's not going to work. They don't do it. We put the rails up. They end up lost on the bottom of the mountain with 2 broken legs. I don't know what to tell you, Moses, but we gotta do our best. Verse 14. After Moses had gone down the mountain to the people, he consecrated himself.
Them.
I said that wrong. Let me start over. After Moses had gone down the mountain to the people, he consecrated them, and they washed their clothes. Then he said to the people, prepare yourselves for the 3rd day. Abstain from sexual relations.
And the wives cheered in unison.
I feel like this is Jimmy and Becky just like making out in front of everybody all the time. And Moses is like, Jimmy's so dirty with his clothes, and nobody wants to see this. 3 days. Stop it. Everybody stop it. Looking over here. It's enough. Stop. 3 days. I'm also obsessed.
Poor Jimmy.
Jimmy's got to act right. He's got to act right. Prepare yourselves for the 3rd day. Abstain from sexual relations. On the morning of the 3rd day, there was thunder and lightning, with a thick cloud over the mountain and a very loud trumpet blast. Everyone in the camp trembled. Then Moses led the people out of the camp to meet with God, and they stood at the foot of the mountain.
I want to know who the first person, like, who got the closest first with the foot of the mountain thing at this point. Like, yeah, we got a trumpet sound, but I'm good. I'm not. The consequences were a little steep, so I'm not going to be an early adopter in this situation. I'm going to let them, just, Jimmy, why don't you go walk up the mountain first? Why don't you touch the foot?
Oh, for sure. And I think, like, sometimes there's a recency bias here where we, modern Christians, are always like, these people, these Israelites, they're always getting it wrong. But I would posit to you, our message has always been like, Jesus loves you a bunch. Just go to Jesus. Jesus goes to you. Go pursue Jesus. Pursue a close relationship with Jesus. These people are having to deal with like, up there is God. God is cool. God loves us. God takes care of us. You want to be follow God. Don't get too close to God. Don't keep it maybe this far. But like be close. Don't be too close. Those are tougher instructions than what we have.
Yeah. You
could pick up a Bible right now and hold it to your chest and nothing bad's going to happen. Assuming there's no external things going on.
Sure.
This is tough instructions that they're trying to wrap their head around. Because God loves us. He's cool. He's back with us. Yeah. Just don't get too close to the mountain. That's what we're saying.
Yeah. And they did it all without, like scones and pancakes and stuff.
Which, how much more difficult? Starting your day with nothing but manna. On the morning of the 3rd day, there was, and a trumpet blast, everybody trembled. Moses led the people out of the camp to meet with God, and they stood at the foot of the mountain. Mount Sinai was covered with smoke because the Lord descended on it in fire. The smoke billowed up from it like smoke from a furnace, and the whole mountain trembled violently. As the sound of the trumpet grew louder and louder, Moses spoke, and the voice of God answered him. The Lord descended to the top of Mount Sinai and called Moses to the top of the mountain. So Moses went up, and the Lord said to him,
just the back and forth trips.
He's got a hike.
Just come on up to the top of the mountain. I was just up there yesterday. Do you know how long of a walk that is?
Can we just for a moment shout out the quads on Moses? I mean, that man must have been jacked. Like his legs.
Yeah.
Because of the hiking. The Lord said the Lord said to him, go down. Oh yeah, verse 20. The Lord descended to the top of Mount Sinai and called Moses to the top. So Moses went up. Then the Lord said to him, go down and warn the people so they don't force their way through to see the Lord, and many of them perish. Even the priests who approach the Lord must consecrate themselves, or the Lord will break out against them. So he hikes up the mountain.
Everybody was consecrated already. I don't get it.
Well, just
why are we consecrated?
Never bad to twice, right? When you're in like a public bathroom, you wash your hands, and I'm on the way out, and there's sanitizer. I'm always like, What's it gonna hurt?
Reconsecrate
again. But it is funny. The Lord calls him up to say like, hey, I brought you up here so you can go down and tell him not to come up the mountain. Okay. You got me. Okay. It's like, this happens in your house sometimes. You get called to the back of the house like, hey, Dad, can you help me? Yeah, okay, what's out here? I left my water in the living room. Okay.
Such a kid move.
Now I'm back. Uh-huh. Moses said to the Lord, the people cannot come up Mount Sinai because you yourself warned us. Put limits around the mountain and set it apart as holy. The Lord replied, this is 23 is Moses saying that to God. And again, God is just the big picture. And he's like, no, I know I said that. And I know you did that. I'm just telling you, they're going to be in the wrong spot on the mountain. This is what they do. The Lord replied, go down and bring Aaron up with you. But the priests and the people must not force their way through to come to the Lord, or he will break out against them. So Moses went down to the people and told them. I want to go back and see how many up downs Moses did, because that's at least 4. Mm-hmm. I think it's higher than that in this one chapter. Verse 20, and God spoke all these words, I am the Lord your God who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. You shall have no other gods before me. We jump right into the 10 commandments here, Exodus 20. Mm-hmm. This is going to sound a little familiar to some of you, and that's what that is. I am the Lord your God who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. No other gods for me is 3. 4. You shall not make for yourself any image in the form of anything in heaven above or on the earth beneath or in the waters below. You shall not bow down to them or worship them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, punishing the children for the sin of the parents to the 3rd and 4th generation of those who hate me, but showing love to 1,000 generations of those who love me and keep my commandments. I do have a little bit of like what I can only phrase as a PEMDAS question here, which is the order of functions, because you have here that you're going to show love to 1,000 generations of those who love me, keep my commands. So you have people who love you, so you got 1,000 years of that. But there's a jealous God punishing the children for the sin of the parents to the 3rd and 4th generation of those who hate me. So if you are within your 1,000 years
the parentheses
of good vibes, and somebody in the 1,000 years has bad vibes, which function operates first?
Yeah, I think
and
those are now
the other function.
I think that's the exponent.
That's the E.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. As long as we remain undivided.
Well, we got to be fruitful and multiply, don't we?
Hey ho! You shall not misuse the name of the Lord your God, for the Lord will not hold anyone guiltless who misuses his name.
Or your name will be subtracted from the book of life.
Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the 7th day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work, neither you nor your son nor daughter, nor your male or female servant, nor your animals, nor any foreigner residing in your towns. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all that is in them, but he rested on the 7th day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day, made it holy. Honor your father and mother, so that you may live long in the land the Lord your God is giving you. Mm-hmm. You shall not murder.
You shall not murder.
That is exactly how these are presented. In verse 13, just no further. Like everything's got a little.
Yeah, we got a little like a little
something
asterisk. Like, hey, this is why the Sabbath is holy. We don't. And I think the murdering was happening a lot, and they didn't know it was bad. God had to remind them.
Hey,
that's not okay.
Don't murder. Stop with the murders.
Can we all just stop with the murders?
I can't believe I have to say this. That's 13. 14, you shall not commit adultery. 15, you shall not steal. 16, you shall not give false testimony against your neighbor. 17, you shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, or his male or female servant, his ox or donkey, or anything that belongs to your neighbor.
Okay, but what about the cat?
Yeah, the order of that is striking.
That too. Okay, what about his shoes? Should I cover his?
You mentioned 4 specifically.
Right. That too. What about his mustache? I was like, if he's got a good mustache,
he's next door to Tom Selleck. When the people saw the thunder and lightning and heard the trumpet and saw the mountain in smoke, they trembled with fear. They stayed at a distance and said to Moses, "Speak to us yourself, and we will listen. But do not have God speak to us, or we will die." Again, I think they're coming from a reasonable place with that kind of assumption. Can't go up the mountain. maybe we shouldn't be spoken to directly.
Yeah, it's like kind of like me with electricity. Like a lot of I'm just gonna call somebody, the electrician, to mess with the buzzing that's going on in the panel.
Yeah.
Like I'm good. I
don't want to mess with it.
You just go. You know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I don't need to be like over your shoulder because I don't know what's electricity and what's not.
Yeah. I think that's darn near a perfect metaphor for this situation. Wow. I think you've crushed it with that one. But I do wonder, like, Moses' take in this. Like, because he's like, can you speak to us yourself when we will listen? Do not have God speak to us or we will die. And Moses is like, yeah, it would stink if he just talked and everyone heard instead of me having to literally scale a mountain all the time. You're right, guys. I'll go do that. You guys just chill.
Also, you're very willing to throw me up there to potentially die too. You God and I are just good friends.
Right.
We've known each other for a long time.
Right. I wonder if a little bit Moses in this situation too is it's probably a very Florida thing, but it's like the guy in the alligator tank with all the alligators. There's really nothing to worry about in here. Everything's fine. And everybody else is like, yeah, I think you got it in there. You can do the gator wrestling. But we'll be out here. It's like, really, guys, this is nothing bad. I only almost nearly died once by this situation. That's a throwback for those that have been following the podcast. Moses said to the people, do not be afraid. God has come to test you so that the fear of God would be with you to keep you from sinning. The people remained at a distance while Moses approached the thick darkness where God was. Then the Lord said to Moses, tell the Israelites this. You have seen for yourselves that I have spoken to you from heaven. Do not make any gods to be alongside me. Do not make for yourselves gods of silver or gods of gold. Make an altar of earth for me and sacrifice on it your burnt offerings and fellowship offerings, your sheep and goats and your cattle. Wherever I cause my name to be honored, I will come to you and bless you. If you make an altar of stones for me, do not build it with dressed stones, for you will defile it if you use a tool on it. And do not go up to my altar on steps, or your private parts may be exposed.
And the Lord spake and said, there is a strong updraft, and your junk shall be exposed.
God said, listen, I don't want any gemstones. I don't want to see any other stones. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you to use any sort of jewels. I don't want to see anybody's jewels. You know what I'm saying?
No giblets, please. God spoke.
This speaks to something that I do feel pretty passionate about, which is that, like, I think I want robes to come back. I like the robe as an everyday wear. Like, just
why do you think they would have been exposed then? Is it like is it because they would have to hike up their
idea of
robe
you
skirt?
Hiking up a little and then taking a step up is going to allow for the updraft. It's going to create a pathway. I think that's the danger. And there's some problematic stuff with robes. I yield, but my goodness. When I did more of the costume stuff for Bible is Funny, I would put that robe on, and I'll be honest with everybody in this room, I'd rock it for much longer than it took me to make that TikTok I was making. I'd keep it on because I'm it's essentially a Snuggie. You're just if this is a nice fabric, what is wrong with this? I'm completely covered. If I need to go outside and do something real quick, I can do it. It's just nice.
What seems maybe easier is for God to introduce to them underwear.
Which I do think comes up here kind of soon, actually.
You can do that.
Yeah.
You can have a little loincloth.
Creative problem solving.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, these are the rules, and we just want to be clear on them. Moses had to say this. Again, maybe this is one where one of the guys is got a little too short of a robe, and Moses found it an opportune time to be while we're talking about respect,
Jimmy,
let's
about your skirt,
Jimmy,
robe.
I love that you washed it. First of all, that's a lot of people are talking about that.
It did kind of shrink in the dryer.
A little bit. It shrunk a little bit.
Or you grew.
So what if we, when we're doing steps, didn't
didn't go up steps.
We didn't go up steps.
If you just take the long way around, it's a very slow, winding
88
ramp
path that we built
to get to the top.
That will get you there. And I think everybody would be better.
We'll just all do it. Why don't we all do it together? We'll all do it
We're
together.
We're done with steps.
No more steps, Jimmy.
We're done with steps, Jimmy.
And while we're at it, no more burpees, too, Jimmy. Like we got a lot last time. You good on the exercise.
You're fit as a fiddle.
I think. Yeah. Into leg press. You don't have to do that. You're in great shape.
We're
Jim.
set. Mm-hmm. Let's do like private gyms only. Like
any of the deep squats.
I'm getting rid of that community gym we built. We don't need it. Tim, what'd you learn today?
Are we done? Yeah. What I learned is that people have just always been dumb. I mean, I think I knew this, but it's nice to have that refresher. Like, don't the God's instruction of like, don't approach the trembling mountain of thunder and smoke and fire with the mysterious smoke floating around it. It's like the ancient equivalent of don't use the hairdryer in the bathtub. Like, of course you shouldn't do that. Like, why do you have to put a warning label on that?
Yeah.
Like, just people are so dumb though. We got to put the label on.
We have to put the label on. And I think that's a really solid takeaway to just like, I think there was like narrative, especially in media, of like, it's very cool when you break the rules. And a lot of our, let's go back to Happy Days and it's Fonzie. He doesn't prioritize school. He's cutting class. He's doing his own thing. And so on and so forth. You have these characters that don't follow the rules, and that's cool. Like, at the end of the day, there's rules that are like, we agreed to this rule because it's the smart rule in this situation. Just don't break the rule. There's some rules that are, it's a common phrase. Rules were made to be broken. It's like, I mean,
no, don't be an idiot.
They're not, though.
Not all. Some of them, yeah, you can push the limit. Not this one. Not the trembling mountain.
That's right,
dummy.
Right. Some of them, if the speed limit's 30 and you're going 35,
break the rule.
You're not gonna hear it from me.
Break the rule.
But there's other ones that are like.
But if the volcano is erupting, don't go. Oh, let me see if I can get a selfie with it.
I wonder though.
No, stop.
Was not actually.
But we have to have the sign up.
Gotta have a sign that says.
But it feels like now, like we do that. We've done that for so long. We only know our own experience. And we know, oh my gosh, people are so dumb. Can you believe it? Well, no, we have these signs now because people in the past have done the thing. And we can't let people get, crushed by a volcano.
This is going to be like a Banksy journey for me. I want to come up with like a really bad idea to do in certain situations and create a sign that's like if you're at the volcano, just made me think of it. Like, please do not approach the volcano with any sort of jewelry to try to replicate the famous scene from Lord of the Rings. Like, very specific, detailed, like, please don't do that right here. And, like, make everyone in that moment think, oh, dang.
I should have done that.
I should have done that, probably. But that would be a great form of graffiti.
That's a good bit. We took it. Don't steal it. Don't you.
Dibs.
Don't do it.
Good job today, Tim.
Thanks. I can't. I got the microphone in the way. Okay.
Good job. Good job, you. Thanks for being there. You read 2 chapters of the Bible today. What are you? Some spiritual guru? I think you could conduct weddings now. You actually need less. You're overqualified to be what is the word I'm looking for? Ordained online.
Ordained, which I am.
Same.
By the internet. Thank you. And God. God and the internet.
Yeah. You're overqualified to be ordained right now, according to the internet. So, congrats to you. Don't let anybody hear the end of this. Everywhere you go today, be like, oh, did you read your Bible today? I did 2 whole chapters, just so you know. 2 whole chapters.
Suck it.
Old Testament 2. That's the hard one. Thanks for following along. At The Bible is Funny is where you can reach us. Let us know if there's anything we missed in our deep dive we did on these 2 chapters. Also, in the show notes is where you're going to get Bible is Funny Card Game Volume 2. Check that out. And tickets to Florida, where us and our good friends Ninjas of Butterflies are going to hit Tampa and Orlando and see you live. And we're all going to hang out together. And it's going to be the best night of our lives. It's going to be the best night of our lives. Mm-hmm. And it won't be the same if you're not there.
Can't possibly oversell it.
If you're not there, we'll cancel the show.
Okay.
Hopefully that moved someone. Love you so much. Thanks for listening. Talk to you soon.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.